What's up, guys? This is Team Venom, and I'm here with a deck profile of my Chaos Dragons. Now, mine actually differs a lot from what usually people do, most because I put a little spin of my own personal taste into it. Let's go ahead and get started. First things first, we have your typical, you have your 3 light pulsars. Those are one of your big bosses in this, which everyone knows of. Next, we move on to the 3 clips, wyvern, however you want to call it. Use these to obviously get out other cards, then remove them from play with these or other monsters to return any card that I banished by them. That's an obvious effect. Then I have 3 Raikou, which is mostly just because I love his effect and he's a Lightsworn. So he's really good for Judgment Dragon. Saves me a lot. Next I have 3 Jane, the Lightsworn Paladin. This is mostly because he's a big beater for his card effect to mill out my darkness and my any of my dark monsters and my light monsters into the grave so I can get out my other cards requiring light and dark. Next we have 3 Lila for effect to destroy spell cards on the back row of your opponent, and also because she's Lightsworn for Judgment. Next we have Lumina. I only have one of these currently. I want to get another one, but this is once again for Judgment Dragon. Next we have Judgment Dragon, as I keep talking about, mostly because he does a very good combo with Light Pulsar and Red Eye's Darkness Metal. It does a great combo. It nuke the field, then you just bring them all right back, so you have a full field, instant attack, game over. Next we have Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. This is really a great card. Any deck should run this, especially if you have a light and dark. Perfect card for it. Deals so much damage and scares the living crap out of your enemies. Now here's where a bit of my spin comes in. I have 3 Blue Eyes, just because that's one of my favorite cards from when I was little. So you have to include him into like every single deck you do. Next I have Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. A lot of my friends who I've played against kind of look at me and wonder what in the world am I thinking putting this into a Chaos deck. Well, like I said, personal spin, personal preference. Next we have 3 Dark Flare. It's a dark monster, easy to get out, also helps to get out with Eclipse, wyvern, whatever. Helps with that to get all your cards back. Next we have 3 Chaos Sorcerers for his effect. That's also great, and also because he has to banish a light and dark from the grave to summon him. So obviously he goes well with this. Next we have Dark Armed, which in pretty much every dragon deck this card is always there. He's a very great staple and I just love using him. Next I have 2 Red Eye's Darkness Metal. I only have the 2 because the third one my friend is using, so I've just settled with 2, and actually I think it works better with 2 because it doesn't have as much clog when you're playing, and you're guaranteed to at least get one of them out throughout the duel if you do not end it early. Now back to the whole I'm putting a spin on it. I have the 3 Red Eyes, which that leads to my next few cards, which are Red Eye's Darkness, because like I said, I like to have a spin, also because I needed more dark monsters, because while I was playtesting this was really starting to just clog up and I have a ton of light in the grave and no dark. And then for another little spin I pulled out my old Black Metal Dragon, just because. I mean, I've had this card sitting around so long I've decided to actually put it to use. And then next we have the Phantom of Chaos. It's dark and its effect is pretty sweet that it can basically take the place of another card that's in your grave. Now we get to my spells. Here's your field spell, which is Chaos Zone. Great card for this kind of deck, especially because you're going to be dumping cards like crazy. Then you have staple Dark Hole, Dragon's Mirror, so I can get out the Blue Eyes Ultimate, Allure of Darkness, because it's a staple, especially with cards that are dark. Monster Reborn, staple card, have to have it. Heavy Storm, take out your opponent's backfield, everyone knows how that works. Future Fusion, use it for 5-headed, and also to dump a bunch of cards so you can quickly get out more monsters. Pot of Duality, great card, helps you search out a lot, everyone knows what this does. Book of Moon, in case your opponent decides to get out a really high power monster when you don't have much. Saved me a lot whenever I'd be playing. And then Charge of the Light Brigade. It's a great search, and it also mills some cards in so you can special summon. Now we're to traps. Metal Morph for the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. Mirror Force, because it's a staple. You need to have that in there, especially like what happened with one of my friends. He was using Horse of the Black Flame level 8. Mirror Force got rid of him right away. Torrential Tribute, I usually use that to chain with my next card, which is Starlight Road, just because I don't run a single tuner in this deck, and so I like having Stardust available at any time. Now to the side deck, which I'm pretty sure I've pretty much given away already, which is 5-headed Dragon, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and then Stardust Dragon. That's about it for my Chaos deck. I've been testing it at my school randomly throughout the days, and so far it's held up pretty well. I did not actually expect it to be as great as it was, because it's mostly based around a starter deck. So my first thoughts with that were, no, this is going to be another little one-hit wonder, top once at regionals, never do anything again. But then I noticed it started winning a lot, so I settled with it and said, okay, I'm going to try this. Turns out I absolutely love this deck. It's really fun to play for me, especially against a lot of my friends, because they don't know what's going on. We just start pulling out an epic combo like the Judgment Dragon combo that I mentioned. And that's really about it. So thanks for watching. This is Team Venom. And also, I'd just like to say a shout out to my friends from the Troubled Pack. They are a great channel. You should go check them out. I'll put a link under the video to show my support to them. Great guys. They have some great videos, great profiles, binder trades, all of that. So if you could check them out for me, I'd really appreciate it. And also send them a little subscribe as well. So besides that, that's about it. Thank you very much. This is Team Venom signing off.